everyone, this is Shelly from Koala Knits, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you do a braided join on your blankets. When you want to have this nice looking braid that's going down the front of your blanket, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now I'm not going to show you this whole blanket because this is coming out on a video next week. I'm going to be finishing it up and I'll be posting it next week, so be watching for that. Maybe by the time you see this video it'll have been up already and it'll be old already, so I don't know, but anyways, watch for the tutorial on that. But for now I'm going to show you how you do the braided join. You're going to put your wrong sides together, just like that. So we want to have the nice side of the braid always on the same side. So when you're doing your panels, make sure that you're always lining the right side with the right side facing you, so that the wrong side of your blanket is on, the two sides are together. It looks beautiful on the other side too, but it's just there is a right and a wrong side to it. I'll show you that. This is the right side when the braid goes down like that, and then the wrong side, it's just not as prevalent. It's just hidden a little bit more. It goes in. So that is the wrong, considered the wrong side. So again, you're going to take your two panels. You're going to line them up with the wrong sides together. You're going to find your side where you have the V's going down. The wide part of your stitch, the V's are going down. Now, if your end naturally falls on one side where the V is pointed on the bottom, where the narrow part is down, you want to just give it half a turn there so that your V's are wide end on the bottom, both panels, okay? So generally, I leave my tail that's here is what I will use to sew it up together at the top there when I'm done sewing my panel together. But I start a few stitches down, 2 or 3 stitches down, whatever looks like is easy to get into. So this is a second stitch down, so I'm going to go into that stitch, and then I'm going to go across to the second stitch on the other side, go between those 2 stitches, pull up the bar, and come through the stitch that's on my hook, okay? So then I'm going to count. So you can see that this is the stitch that I'm working. So I'm going to count that as 1, and this is 2. So 1, 2, pick up the bar, go through the loop on your hook. 1, 2, pick up the bar, go through the loop on your hook. 1, 2, all the way down. 1, 2. It's really very easy, but it's such a pretty look. And 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to go with you down to the color change, just so you can see what I do when there's a color change. Okay, won't take long. Once you get the hang of it, it works up really good. And my hook of choice is a 5.5 millimeter hook. You know what? You can really use whatever size of hook you want. It really, honestly, doesn't matter. But I think a 5.5 is a nice size to use, nice to hold, nice to work with. It's my favorite. It's my favorite crochet hook, so that's why I grab it maybe. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, getting down to our color change. It's coming. You're gonna make sure that your rows are not twisting. So you wanna follow that same row all the way down to the end of your tube. Don't twist it and go to this one. That will not be good. So be very careful to always line those two panels up so that the same row is what you're working on all the way down to the end. Okay? Coming to my color change, as you can see. Okay, so I want to make sure that that lines up perfectly. So in this particular instance, it happened so that 1, 2, it lines up perfectly. But if it wouldn't have, if there would have been only 1 stitch left there, I would have done 1 and 1, just because I want to make sure that my join is where it joins. Like if I would have went down to here, if this would have been the stitch I was on and I was going down to here, it would have lined it up, but it would have been a little wonky because it's not. This stitch here isn't secured. So I always make sure that once I get to my color change that it's lined up perfectly, and if that means that it's only 1 stitch, actually it is only 1 stitch now that I'm looking at it, because this is where I'm coming out and this is the color change. So I normally would go here, but I'm not. I'm gonna go here and pick that up. Let me just see, am I on the right side here? I'm gonna go, so it's actually 2 on this side and 1 on this side. It's kind of hard to get. 1 on that side, there we go. So now I'm gonna go 1 on this side and 2 on this side, just so that I even it up. So when I keep going down, then it's good. And you can see that's perfectly lined up. So you just wanna maneuver it so you're making sure that your join is completely straight. Okay, so you're gonna do that all the way down, and when you get to the end, you just take this loop, and your end that you have here, you just wrap it. When you get to, I'll just do it on this side. So let's just say that this was the loop that I had down on the end. Then I take this, I bring it through, and then I put this in my needle. And then I just secure it, just like that. Oops, missed, lost it. Just so you have a straight edge. That's how I do the top and how I do the bottom. Now I just want to make a mention that you put a straight pin or something on the top part on the where you start, because you always want to start on this end. So when you're doing your braid, when you add your next panel, make sure it's on this end, not on the other end. Otherwise, these little V stitches here will be going this way and on the other side. So again, make sure it's the same end that you start on, and make sure your wrong sides are together, and then just go to town, get it done all the way down. And if you have the same number of stitches on your on every panel that you have made, which I'm sure that you do, then there's no reason why this will not work out. Sometimes it looks like one panel will look like it's longer than the other, and that's simply because of in your stretching process when you took it off of your machine, you might have had a little bit more pressure on one panel than you did on the other. But when you're following these stitches down evenly, and you're doing your count exactly the way you need to do it, then it'll all eventually line up when you get to the bottom. Okay, so that's how you do the braided join. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it helps. Okay, take care, guys.